Hello, you are listening to Super Black. I am your host, Carl Waldron, and today's topic is using black as an adjective. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for clicking. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. Tell a friend. Tell your mom. Tell your mom's mom. Tell your mom's best friend or neighbor. Tell everybody about the show. I don't want anything but your attention, and that's it. All right. So today's topic is a thing within the superhero realm. It's using the word black to describe a character. And some, prominent examples would be Black Lightning, Black Panther, Viking the Black, Black Vulcan. All of these characters are named Black something, where the title Black doesn't tend to represent anything but the race of the character. So Black Lightning doesn't shoot actual black lightning, which would be cool. It's just a black man who shoots lightning or has lightning powers. Viking the Black is a character from the New Gods, and nothing in his power set is even remotely quote unquote, black, except for this man's skin. He's just a black man. Black Vulcan is, I believe, one of the Hanna-Barbera or DC superheroes that shoot lightning. And again, just a black man. And it's almost like it's used to kind of alert folks of this part. Like, there's no, or very few characters that, are named, white something that refers to their race. They just have a name. Or, I wouldn't even want to go into any other colors because that would just be wholly offensive. But it's not a thing that happens outside of, black superheroes. And I won't throw a blanket over and say it never happens, because there is a White Panther who is a white man from the crew who will do an episode about them as well. But it doesn't happen often. But it seems to happen all the time with black characters. And I'm not here to say that this is a bad thing or a good thing. It simply is a thing that exists within the fandom that I thought it's worth talking about. I wrote a piece for Popverse, which is Reed Pop's pop culture website. If you don't know, Reed Pop puts on Comic-Con and now E3. It's an events and marketing company, and they created a pop culture website that I wrote the definitive guide to black superheroes for. And it's an amazing privilege to be able to do that. And I'll say it right now. The article by no means covers everything about black superheroes. There's no way one single article can do that. But I used the platform to call out some tropes within the pop culture community when it surrounded black superheroes, and one of them was using black as an adjective. It's just very, the word overt. It's like it's in your face. If you date it all the way back to the quote unquote first black superhero, Black Panther, there's enough context around Wakanda, the Panthers, the actual outfit Black Panther wears, to not think too hard about the fact that it's called Black Panther. He's literally a Black Panther, or Shuri is literally a Black Panther, a person in a costume, right? The Black Panther is the ancestral animal of Wakanda. So you don't think too hard about it. But the moment you move away from that to other superheroes, like I mentioned Black Lightning or Viking the Black, Or even Black Manta, who started out as just a guy in a black suit underwater, and then he took his helmet off and it was revealed that he was a black man. It makes you stop and think, like, did they make up the character, and then because the name was Black Manta, they decided to make him black? Or did they already know he was going to be a black man and named him Black Manta in regards to that? There's no way to not think of it that way. Now, I love Black Manta. I love Black Panther. I love Black Lightning. All these characters I love. And again, it's easy to be negative in these situations. But I would rather just call attention to it. And these days, it doesn't happen nearly as often as you would think. I'm sure it still happens here and there, and I think it's just, indicative of people growing up with characters like that. But it's definitely a trope that when you look at it, you tend to you squint. You do that squint, like, really? And one of them that I really latched onto because it felt even weirder than something like Black Panther is the Black Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So a quick history of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Power Rangers was created in Japan, and it's a Japanese cartoon. Saban bought the rights to distribute it in the States, I believe, and decided to create a whole new cartoon. So they filmed a bunch of actors, and scenarios, and then they would splice in old Power Ranger footage so that the action scenes were Power Rangers, and then the, other scenes were, of American actors, doing a storyline. Which explains why whenever they turned into Power Rangers, the quality dipped and it became like they were in big open fields. It was weird. But I bring that up because the Black Ranger was not originally a black person. It was a Japanese person. When they cast Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they cast the black guy, Zach Taylor, as the Black Ranger. There was no reason to make Zach Taylor the Black Ranger other than he was black. The weird sort of coincidence or synergy between those two points is so blatant, it almost hurts your brain to think about. He was retroactively, cast as the Black Ranger. Not retro. He was cast as a Black Ranger because he was black, basically. And it's such a weird circumstance. So it's so weird, in fact, that when they redid the Power Rangers in the late 2010s, they had to take the black character out of the black suit, and they cast Billy, who was the original Blue Ranger. They cast Billy as a black guy, and then they cast the Black Ranger as, I believe he was an Asian man. I can't remember. But I know that they made Billy a black man just so that they would avoid the whole black guy's Black Ranger thing. It's a strange trope, and again, I'm not here to pass negativity or anything, but I am here to call it out. It is something that you should be aware of, especially if you're a creator. You shouldn't name your character based on their race unless it's like integral to the story. I won't put caps on that. But, something like Viking the Black, the new god who's just a black guy. And instead of it being like Viking the Merciful or Viking the Strong, Viking the Poet, it's Viking the Black, as in, hey, this guy, his moniker is he's just known as the black guy there. He's the as they would call the token black guy. I believe he is too. I don't know if there's any other new gods who are black. I never looked into it, but I did look into that guy, Viking. If kids or adults who are looking for superheroes or characters in pop culture to look up to, and they're kids of color, adults of color, black kids. If you do a Google search, with Safe Search on, for black superheroes, if nothing else, and here's me trying to find the positive, if nothing else, these superheroes are very SEO compliant because they're going to pop up. They have the name black in their title. They're, these people looking for that representation will find them. Now, once they're found, they can look into the character itself, decide whether or not they want to latch on to that, and find themselves someone they can identify with, which is all it's anything we all want, right? Find characters that we can share stories with and we can see ourselves as. There's no better feeling than seeing a character and going, hey mommy, that looks like me. I can't tell you how many times my daughter has seen a little brown girl on TV with hair like hers or skin like hers, and she goes, mommy, look, she looks like me. It's heartwarming, and it's necessary. You have to see yourself in things. And again, that's why Super Black exists. I want these kids to know that there are heroes, there are super people who look like them. You can be anything. You can be super. You can transcend all the ridiculousness and be positive and see yourself as the hero of your own story. And again, that's hard when you don't look like anyone doing the good stuff. So yeah, if you search black superhero, Black Panther will show up. Black Lightning will show up. The Black Ranger will show up. And honestly, the Black Ranger is an amazing character. I love what they've done with Zack Taylor in the comics. You can go read the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comic. Zack Taylor does amazing work. I mean, it's a fictional character, but in the comic, does amazing work. In the Black Ranger, we've done an episode on the Black Ranger, myself and Dan. And the actual Black Ranger mantle has been, carried on really well in the comics. So much so that there's like an entire police force that I think they're called the Mastodon Sentries. It's just a bunch of people dressed as the Black Ranger. Think of what is that, Star Wars? Think of the Stormtroopers, but they're all wearing the Black Ranger outfit. How cool is that? But yeah, so this will be a shorter episode, I think. I don't think I need to belabor the point, but I just wanted to call attention to it and, obviously let everybody know that it's not always negative. We can look at the positive and we can turn it, we can change it, we can make it ours, all of ours, not just black people, white people, Spanish people, Asian people, everyone, Indian people, Hindu, doesn't matter. I don't want to name everybody, but we can change the narrative. We can make it better. We have the power. It just takes us, right? Takes a podcast, takes you and me to make all this positive. I am rambling. Oh boy. I just love Super Black. I love it. I love doing this for you. I love doing this for me. I love doing this as a chronicle for my kids when they are old enough to listen to podcasts. If they want to listen to their father just mumble on ad nauseum for hours about superheroes, and if they get something out of that, that's great. This is as much for them as it is for you listening and for me doing it. But yeah, that's it. That's the episode. Thank you for following me along on this rambling journey. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Hopefully my dulcet tones has soothed you as you, I don't know, drive to work, sit at your desk, eat dinner with your family. I don't know how you were listening to this. Let me know how you listen to this or where you listen to it. I'd love to know. I'd love to get feedback. I'd love to know how people are ingesting this content and if it's making a difference to you or if you're... I'm rambling again. All right, we're done. I'm sorry. Go back to doing what you were doing. Thank you so much. Head over to super.black for more content, more episodes of the podcast, more features. Videos are coming soon. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you next time. Full stop.